Let's take a look at talent management. Recruiting, selecting, and retaining staff members requires short and long-range planning. Recruitment's purpose is to attract quality applicants based on current and projected needs. It requires a proactive plan to acquire a pool of applicants whose backgrounds and interests closely match the needs of the organization. Selection is a consideration of the overall value an applicant has in making a positive contribution to the organization's vision and goals. Selection is about finding the right person for the right job at the right time. Retention, maintaining employee stability, is primarily a result of job satisfaction, which is influenced by leaders, organizational culture, and the opportunities for personal and professional development. Dismissal is the involuntary termination of employment, which is the final phase in unsuccessful processes to strengthen deficiencies or to satisfy the goals of the organization and the needs of the individual. Dismissal provides opportunities to reevaluate job descriptions and requirements and to ascertain specific reasons for employment separation. This information should be used to strengthen recruitment, selection, and retention practice. Recruitment is the process of identifying staffing needs and generating a pool of qualified candidates. The recruitment process includes analyzing the requirements of the position and attracting employees to that job. Managers should focus on structuring job-related, organizationally relevant communication to the right audience when recruiting. Why does your organization exist? What makes it great? Clear communication about your organization through this process will help attract candidates to make a great fit. Planning in the recruitment process focuses on forecasting future staffing needs occurring because of promotion, turnover or dismissal, retirement or position elimination or creation. Several employment laws, including Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, apply to the recruitment process and prohibit discrimination regarding terms and conditions of employment based on race, color, sex, religion, or national origin. Title VII also prohibits classifying, limiting, or segregating applicants or employees in ways that may deprive them of employment opportunities or negatively affect their employment status. Careful consideration should be given to what applicant information is essential for selection processes. Recruitment creates a first impression and is a form of selling the organization to others. Selection, the second stage of the employment process, is the focal point of the personnel function. The goal is clearly to select the best candidate for the job, the one who holds the highest promise of succeeding in the face of the demands and requirements inherent in the job. The screening of applicants is important, however, there's no single best method for doing so. Consistency in the selection process is essential to avoid litigation. Pre-screening tests must have a direct relationship to job requirements and be free of potential negative influence on minorities. The screening criteria for applicants should be both specific to the job as well as standardized across the organization. Job descriptions should describe the desired results of the job or what employees are expected to accomplish. A careful review of each application will determine if an applicant meets the minimum qualifications as stated in the job description. A background check verification process should comply with state and federal law, and information received should be in good faith and directly related to the duties and responsibilities of the job. Reference checks should be made with the applicant's knowledge and permission. The most valuable information often comes from past or current supervisors who know the applicant's work habits, work-related knowledge, and skills. Interview panels should be made up of a group of trained members, and questions should be based on the duties and requirements of the job to elicit essential information related to successful performance. Interviewing is not only the most widely used screening method, but it's also the most widely misused. Retaining qualified personnel is a major concern of all HR leaders. The values, beliefs, traditions, and other artifacts associated with organizational culture help perpetuate relationships and reinforce the organization's environment. When relationships are free of conflict, threats, and confrontations, positive attitudes and a healthy environment help promote the organization's vision and goals. With the culture reinforcing the value of employees through rewards and recognition, this allows for autonomy and fosters mutual self-respect and job satisfaction as a natural outcome. HR leaders promote a positive culture by connecting employees with their work and the organization. Dismissal is a physiological and emotionally difficult process. To avoid litigation, HR leaders must follow due process procedures. Lengthy proceedings and high legal and court costs make dismissal an option of last resort. Dismissal for ineffective performance is a multifaceted problem. The system used for recruitment and selection, or the variables associated with the school's culture or policies may need to be reevaluated. Incompetency has been defined as a lack of adequate skills or subject knowledge, outright neglect of duty, or physical and mental disability that prohibits the ability to perform a job. Neglect of duty refers to insubordination, that is, refusal to follow policies or procedures or obey direct or lawful orders from a supervisor. Physical or mental disabilities are grounds for dismissal. In determining whether dismissal is justified, the question must be asked, does the disability prevent the person from meeting the demands of the job, or the essential functions of the job? Dismissal for just cause is a general concept, and reasons vary for instituting dismissal proceedings on these grounds. Some grounds for good or just cause are neglect of duty and unprofessional conduct. Usually, just cause dismissals revolve around the following situations: behaviors that influence competencies and are evidenced in evaluation of job performance, behaviors that are against or do not fulfill the requirements of the job, behaviors defined by the organization as unbecoming of an employee. Insubordination is more than outright refusal to comply with leadership directive or to obey an administrative order. Insubordination is also interpreted as a refusal to perform reasonable and/or job-related responsibilities. An employee undergoes a demotion when a decrease in salary or responsibility occurs. Demotions are generally upheld by the courts when they've been made for the efficient management of resources or to discipline an employee. When demotion occurs, due process procedures must be followed, lest demotions deny rights granted to an employee under the 1st, 5th, and 14th Amendments. Voluntary reassignments can be requested by personnel for better working conditions, to work closer to their homes, for the advancement of increased compensation, or to leave hostile working environments. Reduction in force, RIF, should be carried out in accordance with HR policy, which should be designed to ensure fair, efficient, and consistent procedures. Generally, courts hold that employees have no rights to positions deemed unnecessary. However, reasons for RIF must be reasonable and clearly documented, and the positions vacated must also be abolished. Policies on reducing the employee workforce should be stated in HR policy and employee contracts.